Welcome to Royal Secrets. Royal admirers arrive at Windsor Castle as St. George's Chapel opens to serve as the Queen's final resting place. After Queen Elizabeth II's formal funeral on September 19, Windsor Castle reopened, allowing visitors to view her final resting place. Today, as thousands of Britons visit the Queen's final resting place at St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle reopened to the public. She was interred with her husband, Prince Philip, as well as her parents, sister, and mother. A picture of the ledger stone, which designates the location of the family's graves, was provided by Buckingham Palace. Elizabeth 1900–2002 and George VI 1895–1952 are listed, then Elizabeth II 1926–2022 and Philip 1921–2021, which are followed by a Medal Garter star. People passed the Queen's final resting place at King George VI Memorial Chapel in a constant stream, stopping in front of the ledger stone to pay their respects, while some crossed themselves and others stood in solemn remembrance. White rose and lily wreaths were placed around the ledger stone, which was made of Belgian marble and inscribed with the names of Queen Elizabeth, Queen More, King George VI, Queen Elizabeth II, and Prince Philip. Deborah Bullard, 65, a royal enthusiast from North Carolina, was in the UK for 7 weeks when she paid a visit to Windsor Castle. "I just love the royal family," the retired teacher stated as she stood in line to enter St. George's Chapel. Ms. Bullard said that Princess Diana's 1981 marriage to Prince Charles was the catalyst for her admiration of the royal family. Added her, "That's what got my attention. Diana was a vibrant, youthful woman. She was a professor. When she joined the royal family, she was pure. I've started to like Camilla a little bit." After the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, Ms. Bullard said, "The sorrow wasn't as severe as Diana's. It almost seemed as though things had come full circle after the celebrations in June, not that it was time, but nearly." Anne Daly and Grace Gothard, who boarded the 5:07 a.m. train from Cardiff, were in the front of the line to enter Windsor Castle. Prior to Her Majesty's funeral, the devoted couple was both second and third in line to view the Queen laying in state at Westminster Hall. As mourners poured in to pay their respects to the late monarch, the castle anticipated an increase in visitors. People waited in a huge line that wrapped around St. George's Chapel to pass the Queen's final resting place. This morning, hundreds of spectators watched the changing of the guard in front of St. George's Chapel. There was no photography allowed inside the chapel. Online general admission tickets for the St. George's Chapel on the castle grounds are available to Brits. The George VI Memorial Chapel houses the ledger stone. According to the website, admission to the castle costs £28.50 for adults on Saturdays and £26.50 on other days. Reservations are required. On Sundays, St. George's Chapel is only accessible for worship and is closed to the general public. Darren Martin, who had come all the way from Melbourne, Australia, was one of the first people in the line. In addition to camping out for the burial and traveling to Balmoral, Holyrood House, and Sandringham to offer his respects, the 43-year-old had lined up to view the Queen laying in state. He stated, "To give me one last send-off before I return home, I came here today. I had a lot of respect for her because of the service she provided and everything she stood for. The royal family was popular with my grandparents. I was reminded of the Queen by my granny. My childhood fantasy of having my own grandma as the Queen persisted throughout my." Harry claims he did not anticipate Britain's adoration of Charles and Camilla. Following the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex spent time with the rest of the royal family before returning to the US. After the events surrounding the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, Prince Harry is reportedly rewriting portions of his much-anticipated book because he fears he would come out as insensitive. According to earlier reports, the Duke of Sussex's book, which was scheduled to be released this year but may now be postponed until after the death of the monarch. According to journalist Josh Rahm, Prince Harry is revising his book because he wasn't expecting the tremendous affection the public showed for his ancestors when the prince and his wife Meghan Markle attended official engagements alongside other members of the royal family. Prince Harry is currently scrambling chapters and parts of his book because he feels he might come across as callous, he said, according to the American far-right channel Newsmax. And further, because he didn't anticipate the family's utter adoration at the time of Queen Elizabeth II's passing, the outpouring of love for King Charles III and the Queen Consort, Camilla, as well as the utmost support for his brother Prince William and the Princess of Wales, he fears that he may face severe backlash from the publication of his book.